Hello everyone. Welcome to Simplified English, where English becomes simple and fluent. Today is a special day. We're going to do a mock IELTS test, just like a real one, in Simplified English, Priya as the candidate, and me as the examiner, and at the end, we'll give you clear and reassuring feedback so you know exactly what to expect when marking a speaking IELTS test, without getting flustered. Are you ready, Priya?
More than ready, Alex. Let's go.
Good morning. My name is Alex, and I'll be your examiner today. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Priya Sharma.
And how should I call you?
You can call me Priya. That's fine.
Okay. Let's talk about drinks and food first. How often do you drink tea or coffee?
Almost every day. And honestly, I'm Team Chai, especially in the morning or when I take a break, because it comforts me.
Do you prefer eating at home or ordering food?
I prefer eating at home most of the time, but I order once or twice a week when I'm tired and I don't feel guilty. It's just real life.
Now, let's talk about technology. How often do you make payments with your phone?
Every day, rarely. In India it's very easy, so I often pay with UPI, even for small things, and it saves me time.
Do you prefer paying in cash or digitally?
Digitally, because it's fast and I can track it, but I like to keep a bit of cash just in case, especially when the network is bad.
Do you think people are becoming too dependent on their phones? Priya.
Yes, sometimes. It's useful, but it can steal your attention, so I try to set limits, especially in the evening.
Thank you. Let's talk about music now. How often do you listen to music?
Almost every day, especially when I'm commuting or exercising, because it stabilizes my mood. Lately I listen to a lot of Afro music, some hip-hop, and R&B when I want something smoother.
And what does music give you beyond pleasure?
It helps me manage my energy. If I'm tired, it boosts me, and if I'm stressed, it calms me. Sometimes I just play one song and my day feels lighter, just like that.
Is music important in schools in your country?
Yes, I would say so. In India, music and dance are really part of the culture, so even if it's not always a main subject, you often have clubs or activities, sometimes classical, sometimes traditional, and it helps students express emotions without necessarily talking.
Do you ever go to concerts?
Yes, but rarely. I go when it's an artist I really like, and live music is different because you feel the crowd's energy. You don't have control like with headphones, so you think, okay, I'm in, and it's intense but amazing.
Let's talk about reading. Do you prefer magazines or newspapers?
I prefer magazines, especially fashion, decor, and lifestyle. I like seeing trends and creative ideas, and it teaches me visual vocabulary because you see an object or fabric and learn its name naturally.
Can you learn as much from a magazine as from a book?
Not as much. A magazine gives a short, inspiring version, while a book goes deeper. So I use magazines for ideas and books to really understand.
Do you think you'll continue reading paper in the future?
Yes, I think so. I like holding paper, I focus better, and screens tire me faster, so paper stays my calm mode.
Let's talk about outdoor activities. Do you like being outside?
Yes, a lot. Even without a plan, I like going out, walking, seeing movement, meeting friends. If I stay indoors too long, I become restless, so sometimes I just go out to breathe.
What outdoor sports do you enjoy?
I play football with friends when we can. I like swimming. And I also enjoy just going near water or to a park because it resets my mind without effort.
What outdoor activities are popular in your country?
Cricket is number one. Clearly. You go outside and see people playing everywhere. Badminton is also very common, especially in neighborhoods and schools.
Now let's talk about transport. How do you usually get around?
Most of the time it's the metro or a car, depending on the city, and sometimes app-based taxis, because they reduce some of the stress when traffic is heavy.
What do you find most difficult about daily transport?
Traffic jams and noise. Sometimes you lose time and it's mentally tiring, so I listen to music or a podcast to stay calm.
Thank you. That's the end of part 1. Okay, quick pause and debrief. Listen carefully because this is the heart of the episode. You heard the first question. How often? And Priya started with, every day. That's the win. Many candidates answer, when I drive, and forget the frequency. The examiner understands, but the answer is less clean. English Simplified rule, keyword first, then your real life. The answer becomes clearer, better scored, and more stable. Second point. Part 1 doesn't need complex sentences. Just 2 to 3 sentences. Direct answer plus reason plus small detail, and close. One-word answers close the door. Long speeches make you lose your way. We aim for balance, simple and human. Now I'm going to give you a topic. You have 1 minute to prepare. Then you'll speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Describe a famous person you admire and explain why. You can take notes. Your time starts now. 1 minute. Your time is up. You can begin.
I'm going to talk about Deepika Padukone because I find that she inspires many young people in India, not only through her films but also through the image of balance she presents. What I like is that she seems disciplined, but human, and that she sometimes talks about serious topics like mental health, which is important in a culture where many people keep everything bottled up inside. And beyond the celebrity, I find that she represents a modern, ambitious, but calm woman, and that gives a different, more realistic model. If I had to sum it up, I would say that I admire her because she shows that you can succeed without losing your dignity or your simplicity.
Thank you. That's the end of part 2. Very good. And for those listening, here's why it works without sounding too academic. Priya used 3 different angles without repeating herself. 1. Consistency and work. 2. Human impact, mental health and pressure. 3. Presence and communication style. Then 1 concrete example and a personal conclusion. That's what makes a talk feel alive. You don't list. You build and finish with your real voice. English Simplified rule for part 2. You can use 3 blocks plus 1 example plus 1 final sentence. No need to force vocabulary. Just keep your thread. We talked about admiration. In your opinion, why do young adults feel so much pressure today?
I think it's a mix of speed and comparison. Everything moves fast, and it feels like you have to prove something very early. A career, stability, sometimes even a lifestyle. And on top of that, you constantly see other people's results, so you compare, even if you know it's not always reality. And in many families in India, there are also strong expectations, even if they are well-intentioned, like, succeed fast, be stable, make the right choices, and sometimes that creates a silent pressure not mean, but constant.
Do social media increase this pressure, or can they also help?
Both. On one side, they increase pressure because you see a polished version of people's lives, achievements, travel, perfect couples, promotions, and if you are mentally tired, you feel behind for no reason. But on the other side, they can help because you can learn quickly, find communities, advice, opportunities, and even feel less alone. I think the real problem isn't the app, it's the lack of limits, because if you start your day by comparing your life to highlights, you already begin with a weight.
What simple advice would you give to someone who feels overwhelmed but doesn't feel like they have the right to be tired?
First, I'd say, accept that fatigue is real, even if you're fine on paper. Then take small but concrete actions, like sleeping better, reducing scrolling at night, going for a 10-minute walk, and talking to someone. Because when you keep everything inside, it becomes huge, but when you put it into words, it becomes manageable. And also, learn to say no to some things, even politely, because ambitious people say yes to everything, and then they collapse in silence.
Many young people in India work in very competitive environments, sometimes startups, sometimes big companies. In your opinion, what are the advantages and disadvantages of that culture?
The advantage is that you grow fast. You learn, you meet people, you build skills, and you can build a career faster than before. But the disadvantage is that everything becomes urgent. You can feel like you are never done, and if you don't have personal discipline, work takes all your mental space. And sometimes that culture makes you believe your value depends only on productivity, even though life is not just checking tasks.
And when you hear people say work-life balance, do you think it's realistic, or is it just a slogan?
I think it's realistic, but not automatic. It's not something your company gives you. It's something you build with your boundaries. In some periods you work more, that's normal. But if it's permanent, you pay with your health, sleep, and relationships. So balance is often a series of small repeated decisions, not one big heroic decision.
Let's talk about city life. Many young adults move to big cities like Mumbai, Bengaluru, or Delhi for work. What are the advantages and challenges?
The advantage is opportunity. More jobs, more networks, more exposure, more experiences, and you meet very different people, which helps you grow. But the challenges are cost, time in traffic, and sometimes loneliness. It's strange, because you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone, especially if you come from a small town where everyone knows everyone. So you have to build your community intentionally, not wait for it to appear.
Do you think technology makes life easier or more stressful?
Both. It makes life more practical because you can pay, book, learn, work, everything from your phone, and in India it's truly normal now. But it also makes life more stressful because you are reachable all the time, you get notifications, and your brain has no silence. So if you don't choose offline moments, technology chooses your day for you.
Last question, a bit more personal. In your opinion, what will change in the way young adults define success in the coming years?
I think success will become more internal. Before, it was mostly image, salary, status, a big car, big announcements. But now many people realize it's not enough if you are anxious, if you sleep badly, if you have no time. So I think success will include things like mental peace, time freedom, health, relationships, and even the ability to say, I'm okay, without needing to prove anything. And maybe that's the real progress of our generation.
Thank you, Priya. That's the end of the test. For you listening, Part 3 becomes easy when you understand it's not a quiz. It's a structured conversation. Priya did 3 things that always work. She gave a clear opinion. She explained why. And she added an example or a consequence. And she also used small nuances like both, it depends. Not automatic, which sounds mature without requiring complicated vocabulary.
Ha dosto. And if you don't have the perfect idea, it's okay. The goal is to continue calmly, because sometimes your brain finds the idea after you've started speaking.
And now, final feedback for you, the viewers, English Simplified style. What makes the difference in this simulation isn't shining, it's being stable. Stability means answering exactly, then speaking like a normal person, not like a dictionary. And if you remember one rule, take this. When the question asks for frequency, give the frequency first. When the question asks for preference, choose clearly. When the question asks for opinion, start with I think, and only then explain. It's simple, but it saves people on test day.
And I want to add something very human. If you feel intimidated, it's normal. Even people who speak well can freeze because the test makes you feel like every sentence defines you, but it doesn't. You're allowed to hesitate a little, you're allowed to breathe, and you're allowed to restart. Confidence pehle nahi aati. Confidence doesn't come before, it comes after 2 or 3 good repetitions.
Here's your simple plan, no drama. 1 question per day, maximum 3 sentences, and you train yourself to hit the keyword. Do that for 1 week, and you'll feel a real change. Because you're not only training your English, you're training your start. And the start is the hardest part. Start today, not tomorrow. And if you want, write just 1 answer in the comments, and we can make it clearer together, calmly, without judgment. See you in the next episode.